Welcome, everybody, to the F4 Hunger Awareness Show.
It's my goal to feed 1 billion people before I die.
We want to bring awareness around the issue of hunger and food insecurity.
7 to 8 million people served so far. With the sole goal of eradicating world hunger by connecting sources of food to recipients in need. Fiorenza's Food for Friends.
Hi, I'm Derek Fiorenza here on the F4 Hunger Awareness Show. Today we have a very special guest, Nikki Casey from Porch Co. And we have a lot to get into today. As always, we are trying to bring awareness to food insecurity and hunger in our country and in our communities, and working hard with our organization day in and day out to repurpose food that otherwise would be discarded for those in need. And one of the things that we're preparing for right now is the annual F4 Westchester Chili Cook-Off. And as part of this great event, it's a fundraiser. It's also an opportunity to bring the community together to raise awareness. We are looking at connecting with local vendors that want to support the event, and one of the vendors that reached out to us was Nikki Casey. She actually came to us through one of the musicians that will be performing at the event. So with that, let's get started. Nikki, welcome to the F4 Hunger Awareness Show.
Thank you, Derek. It's my pleasure to be here.
So Nikki, you have a really interesting service that you're providing. So I want to dive right in. Give us a background, just where you started, and then how this came about, Styled Porch Co.
There's a few things about Styled Porch Co and how it came about is first and foremost, I every fall would fill my car. I'd drive out to a local farm and I'd fill my car as much as I possibly could. Kids were holding pumpkins on their laps, like to come home and decorate our front entrance to this joyous, grand display of pumpkins. I'm a big fan of the harvest season. I think it is just a glorious part of the year that God's created, and I've always loved the stunning beauty of the fall. And that really evolved to me leaving the kids at home so I could have more room for pumpkins in the car. And then that would lead to hay bales and cord stalks and mums. I'd make a couple trips and no one was welcome to join me, so I could just get more in it. And then that led to helping a couple of neighbors do similar things on their porch. And then I've been in corporate America forever, and it just people just kept nudging me about it. I should do this for myself, including my family. So there came Styled Porch Co.
What is you sound very passionate and excited. Where does that passion and excitement come? This is something very niche. Where does that passion come from?
I think it comes from my Midwest roots. I'm actually from South Dakota, branched out really far to
Yeah.
Minnesota. I was relocated into the East Coast here in Pennsylvania. Um, wow, almost 18 years ago. So I've been here a really long time.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. One of my grandfathers was a farmer. We had to literally go out in the bean fields and pick weeds out of the fields before we could have time on the horse. So I guess I was just raised with a lot of Midwesternness and farmers. And I love this time of year. It's my favorite time of year. There's just so much about it, the color, the textures, the smells, the change in season, that what I want to do is bring the joy of the season to, everyone's porches, one porch and one family at a time.
It's amazing. What part of South Dakota were you from?
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls. Okay. So I spent a lot of time in Rapid City near Mount Rushmore
Yes.
and the
Yes.
Black Hills. Beautiful out
Yes.
there.
That's a beautiful part of the state.
It is. It's really beautiful. And I've always liked the West, especially the Wyoming, Montana area. My buddy and I went on a trip out there a couple years ago. It's actually almost 10 years ago now, 8 years ago. And the landscapes are just beautiful. It gets more and more beautiful. The mountains and everything. It's amazing out there.
What time of year were you there?
Yeah, great question. So, Rapid City, I've actually been all seasons, fall, winter, summer, spring. But the parts of Wyoming, that was in the summertime. We actually drove through Minnesota. I remember Minnesota being extremely hot when we drove through it. But once I got out to Wyoming, we were in Cody, and then we went up to Jackson Hole, and then went up to North
Wow.
Montana, Bozeman. It was really cool. It was a really great trip. So pretty out there.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you
So
kept those Midwest roots.
If you were in Minnesota in the summer, then you must have met the state bird, which is a mosquito.
Oh yeah. Well, it was at nighttime, and when I got out of the car, I started getting bitten. I said, "Man, they must love my skin out here." The
They
state
really
bird is
do.
the mosquito. I can't get over that. So
They're huge.
you go to Minnesota, which is right next door, and then you move out to Pennsylvania. Was it for work? Is that
It
how
was.
it's okay?
Yeah. hmm
And you've been in corporate America. What were you doing?
I was doing all sorts of things. I was leading sales and commercial operations and marketing. So this was a great opportunity to really put all of those things into, my own business.
And when did you start Styled Porch Co?
This summer. So this is our first inaugural year.
Amazing. That's incredible. And you're already getting some traction and interest, it looks like.
We are. We've had some orders, some pretty excited customers that are helping to spread the word.
Yeah, and just reading through some of these items, the way we connected was through the cook-off, talking with Steve, and
Yeah.
that's obviously a fundraiser for the community. So, what part or role does philanthropy and giving back play in, I guess, your ethos, your desire to build this business, but also serve the community?
Oh, that's a great question, Derek. Thank you for bringing me there. So being in Midwest, I'm definitely an animal person as well. And part of what we do is offer a service at the end of the season. So we'll style your porch, either DIY or we can do it full concierge, whichever your preference. But then at the close of the season, your pumpkins can be picked up and then we'll donate them to rescue shelters and local farms. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but cows, pigs, goats, chickens, they all love pumpkins. Um, a pig will eat a pumpkin whole, like you don't have to chop it or anything. They will just go crazy over it. Cows and chickens, you have to break it open for them, but the goats and the pigs, they devour them. And then all the straw will be used as bedding for the animals over the winter as well.
So you're setting this up. You're taking it literally from the start. You're growing it. The farmers are growing it. You're picking it up.
Yep.
You're using it for its beauty because these are very beautiful, and
Mhm.
then you're returning it back to the earth essentially, and the animals are able to use it, so it's not being wasted.
Exactly, full circle. And we only use local farmers and growers in PA.
Okay, so this is only in just Chester County currently in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we're doing Chester County, Delaware County, parts of Montgomery County, and then also parts of Newark County in Delaware. I'm sorry, Newcastle County, Delaware.
Okay, so the Philadelphia collar counties, a little bit of Delaware. Is there any goals that you have to expand beyond this area?
Oh, 100%. We definitely look to expand into next year. We'll see how we can do in terms of traction. I've had a few people reach out in terms of us being outside our first inaugural delivery area, and that's okay. We'll make it work. We'll get to you. We'll probably need a little bit of a fee depending on wherever you're going, but it's pretty nominal for a delivery fee. But we'll expand for sure.
And is this something that in your vision you could kind of see um, other states adopting this in some way or capacity? Because you're
This is
from South
very
Dakota. Yeah.
this is very popular in most states, actually.
Okay.
Many states have their own pumpkin concierge in some way, shape, or form. But for me, I think this is really more than just the season of fall, and I would love for it to expand into the Christmas. We'll be doing wreaths and we'll be doing garland and other things for porch fronts, and then also into the spring and summer time frame in terms of decorating porches for floral and different items such as that. But looking forward to expanding not just fall, but starting with fall because that's such a big one and it's so important.
So part of my naivety, and you can tell I don't know a lot about this. I don't have my porch decorated, but is there a competitive market here in the Northeast for porches to be decorated the way maybe it is in Minnesota or South Dakota?
Not so much in the Midwest. There's a few, but yeah, I think there's a few other
Okay.
companies out here that are doing pretty well. There's a couple that are pretty new as well, probably
Hmm.
three or four that are new this year. But in other states, there's just some that are massive. It just depends on where you are, but it's pretty popular nationwide.
So if you were to expand this to, let's say you go beyond the fall, because this
Mhm,
is obviously it's fall themed right now.
mhm.
Um, you go into the Christmas season. Do you think this year you'll be able to launch wreaths, or is that a next year project?
Ooh, we are exploring doing that yet this year. It might not be exactly every offering we want to do, but we are looking to see how much we can offer for yet this year.
So your vision for that, what does that look like? We can see like, the beautiful pumpkin decorations. What would it be like a wreath on the door? I mean, what kind of
Yeah.
offerings would there be, you think?
Um, well, this is kind of funny. So every year I didn't realize how much I love decorating. I just do. I used to have trees, I don't know, six, seven, eight trees sometimes around the house. I love them. And each tree had its own theme, and I would even wrap the gifts under the tree to match the color of the tree. That's how crazy OCD I would be with decorating. And I have over the years purchased so much ribbon. I would go day after Christmas and get it on clearance, New Year's Day, get it on clearance again, to the point where I have cupboards full of ribbon. So part of the idea is, what do you want on your door? What size of wreath? How big is your office? It could be, I don't know, a car dealership. They have beautiful glass doors that would love to have
Yes.
wreaths there. And what's your color? I say, BMW, do you want a blue bow? Like, so to be able to offer some themes for folks and sizes to start with the wreaths and go to garland and then go to treetops. We'll see what we can do. We can't pull everything off this year because the fall season runs so close into the holiday season for Christmas and winter. So it would be kind of difficult to pull it all off, but we're going to at least try to get the wreaths out the door.
So this could expand beyond just porches. This could expand to businesses, their storefronts. I
Absolutely.
mean, your vision is much bigger than just a home.
Absolutely.
That's
I
really
mean, if you're let's say you're even a retailer, how beautiful would it be to have a wonderful, let's just say the seasonal edit. You have a sprinkling of styled 20 plus pumpkins and gourds outside of your storefront that people are going to like, wow, I want to go in there. So
yeah.
part of it is to make sure that there's a welcoming entrance, but really, again, back to what we're trying to do is bring joy to the season. It's more than just about a week or two or a singular day. It's about celebrating the beauty and the glory that God made in this fall season. And that's just for months at a time. And to be able to share that joy as much as we can.
Yeah, and I noticed you have a Bible verse on your website, Joshua 1:9.
Yeah.
So I'll pull that thread. Is your faith in a part of this at all? Is it involved in you putting this company together?
100%. It is definitely, I will follow where I feel he's leading me. And this is one of those paths for sure.
So you're sitting down and you're praying with your family or on your own, and all of a sudden the inspiration came. Like, take me through that journey.
This was something I had thought about last year. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. It's not going to happen. I've never done anything on my own. I've always been in corporate America. I've always done this. I've loved being in my jobs. I've loved every job I've had. And there was a period of time where I had several folks in my family that really needed my time. And I've never been in a position to give them my time. I've always been working. And I remember a pastor saying, it's just hitting me like lightning. He literally said, sometimes our greatest gift is our availability.
Mm.
I'm like, oh. And
Oh,
at the time, I was actually in between jobs after a layoff. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give my time to my family. And I spent a lot of time with my family. And I said to myself and my kids, I'm like, if something doesn't change, like if I don't find, the job I really want, I'm going to do this. And my children said, well, you really just need to do that. And when it just became, I do need to do this, it was very uncomfortable. And that's kind of why you see Joshua 1:9 and all my material is because to be strong and courageous, to believe that you actually can walk through that door and do things on your own. So again, having been in corporate America my whole life and loved all those jobs, this is very different for me, but I love everything about it. It just blends everything about the season and my family and what we can bring in terms of joy to others.
yeah, and I'll read that verse. I pulled it up while you were speaking, just for those that are listening. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. It's awesome. What a good inspiration.
Don't make me cry, Derek. I'm a crier.
All right, well, if you put a Hallmark movie on, I might cry too.
I love it.
Awesome. I really like this. So let's how can we follow you? I'm looking here. There's an email list on your website. You can subscribe to your email list. How often does the newsletter go out?
We are working on developing that because we want to make sure we're providing value to everyone. So that's still a bit in development. The best place to follow would be on Instagram or on Facebook at Styled Porch Co.
Styled Porch Co. Yep. And we have your Instagram showing up here on the podcast. It'll be on the YouTube. We'll include links on Spotify and iTunes as well. It's really beautiful. I really think this is so
You.
breathtaking. Wow.
Isn't it? It
Yeah,
just speaks joy. Doesn't it speak joy? Who doesn't
it
want to
does
bring
speak joy.
joy to their storefront, their home? I love it.
This one picture in particular has American flag, beautiful
Mhm.
porch and pumpkin. That's perfect. That is
Agreed.
right there.
Agreed.
Gorgeous.
It's a little premature for me to share this, but one thing I am working on actively, and I don't want to spill the beans, but here I am, giving out all the tea. I'm working with a couple of local churches. I actually attend two different churches because I love them both so much. I can't decide.
Hmm.
Uh, they just give different things, and I love them. Um, but every church partners with different organizations. And one of the things I want to do is what are those organizations that could benefit from having some of this harvest glory on the front of, a women's shelter or even a rehab center. I mean, it's hard for people to go into those situations. So if we can do whatever we can just to simply bring joy to them, and in the path that they're at right now, I would love to do that. So we'll be offering sponsorships for folks to provide that to some of these partners.
Really cool idea. And we work with a lot of those shelters throughout the country, but even in the Philadelphia region, some of those women's shelters and
Mhm.
hear some of these stories through the years of just serving and the when someone gets in that position, number one, thank God they found the shelter.
Yep.
You pray to God that they can pull things together and get their life on the right track so that they don't have to live in fear anymore. I mean, a
Mhm.
lot of the people that come into the shelters that I've talked to, they're struggling with mental health conditions or they've had
Yep.
a tragedy happen, they've gotten sick, they've lost their job,
Mhm.
family member died, family member left. And you look at that through the lens of compassion and love. It's like, what can I do to love this person? And the way we're doing it is tangibly through delivery of food, but there's more than one way to feed someone's soul. And this is kind of speaks to that, this idea of the beautification of their lives, just giving them more hope and joy overall.
Exactly. Very well stated, Derek.
Yeah, I love it. So I am sharing your Facebook page and I'm sharing your Instagram and the newsletter sign up. That's great. I think this is so cool. You pulled it together so quickly. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Steve and the bands. I know you're going to be helping out setting up some of their stages at the cook-off. It's going to be a big event in Westchester. Tell us a little bit about how you guys got connected and what you'll be doing with us at the cook-off.
So I ran into Steve. Well, actually, I've known Steve for years. We used to work together at the same organization and definitely have been keeping in touch. I'm definitely a fan of music. And as you know, he's quite the musician. And he's also inspired other individuals I know in terms of getting into music and sharing their talents more publicly. So known Steve a lot over the years and following him as well musically. And we literally ran into each other very recently. I was walking out of a venue and he was walking into play. And we stopped and connected. And of course, we still follow each other on our social media pages. And he's like, listen, all the things that you are and all the things that you stand for, this is a really good partnership for you. So, in speaking with Steve, and then of course yourself, agreeing that this is a wonderful place for Styled Porch Co to partner with you in terms of how can we bring joy to your venue and what the cause that you're supporting. And it looks like we're going to be doing some decor. I'm not going to share exactly what that decor is going to be because I want people to show up and look for them, see for themselves.
And this, we're sharing it now. This is Steve. He's an awesome musician. He'll be
He is.
one of the acts performing at the F4 Westchester Chili Cook-Off on October 12th.
Mhm.
So we'll be sharing his information too. And then he's also, I think, on Instagram. Yep, there's his
He
Instagram page
is.
and on
Mhm.
Facebook. So he plays solo and he also has a band. So very, very cool. There's Steve right there. And listen to some of his music today and last night too, because we had our calls. We were reviewing, getting ready for the event. And it's just so neat to see artists and people that are aspiring to give back and create positivity like you're doing, Nikki, trying to make our community stronger, bringing us together. So thank you for the work you're doing.
Oh, my pleasure. And Steve, another shout out for him. He is so talented.
Yeah.
I love that he's sharing his talents with others.
Yeah, there he is right there. He's
And he's very entertaining.
Oh, yeah. And it was amazing because last year when we were at the event, there was a ton of people. We had, I think it was close to 10,000 people there. And he was over there playing because he had the one section of the street by High Street and Gay, and he was playing and just by himself, but it sounded like a full band. It was amazing. It's like,
He
wow, that's
draws a crowd.
really impressive. Well, as we get ready to wrap up here, Nikki, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience? Anything, any last encouraging words, maybe inspiration? People are struggling; they're going through a lot of difficult times right now. What would you advise, or what advice would you give to somebody that's going through a painful season right now?
If someone's going through a painful season, I would say give it to God. Just
Mm,
give it to him. He will be there for you. Um, no matter what it is. It does not matter. Give it to him. He will he will guide you and he will take care of you. Lean into him and find your resource. Who is it that you need to speak to? Because the community is very helpful. We talk a lot about what community we're supporting here and all the individuals involved, bringing everyone together. You are not alone. You are not alone, and reach out and ask for help, and we will be there.
Beautiful, so well said. You are not alone, and the Lord loves you. And keep the faith. And my grandfather used to say that all the time, Nikki. He passed in 2016, and he would say, "Keep the faith, keep the faith, keep the faith."
Yep.
And a good friend of mine is a deacon. He says all the time, he says, "It'll be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end yet. Keep the focus on the eternal over the temporal." And a lot of times in our lives, we get caught up in the, someone cut me off in traffic, or I missed this, or I was late to that, or this thing happened, I'm losing this relationship or this client. And all those things are really important in that moment. But when we
Mhm.
take a deeper perspective and we kind of start looking at our life in terms of impact, um, the more it's focused on the service of others, the more at peace you'll become in those difficult situations or those frustrating moments because you're able to put them into their own silo and say, okay, that happened. And maybe the reason somebody cut me off in traffic, God was saving me from an accident. Like
Amen.
you start looking at things
Amen.
through a different lens.
Hmm. Totally agree, Derek. And once you have the mindset and you think about things that way, it just brings so much more peace to your day.
And I think
Mhm.
that's what everybody is seeking, whether they know it or not intentionally, is peace. Peace in
Mhm.
relationships, peace in business, peace
Mhm.
in taking care of our kids, peace in, our friendships. Um, so what I think is great is what you're doing right now with this passion, and it's turning into a career, but it's bringing peace to you personally, but it's also going to bring peace to a lot of other people. So I appreciate you and thank you for your hard work.
Well, this was a pleasure, Derek. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah. We've been very grateful to have Nikki Casey on today from Porch Co on the F4 Hunger Awareness Show. As always, please make sure that you follow up on all the links. Follow Nikki on Instagram and Facebook, sign up for her newsletter, and make sure you come out, get your tickets for the F4 Westchester Chili Cook-Off. She'll be in a prime location so you can meet her in person and obviously learn more about the great work she's doing at Styled Porch Co. With that, I'm Derek Fiorenza, and this has been a presentation with the F4 Hunger Awareness with Nikki Casey. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Derek.